What's up, everybody? It's Coach, and welcome to Wargaming Questions. This is the show where we answer questions about wargaming, hobbying, painting, and anything else you want to ask us. And this week's question is, what kind of a brush buyer are you? Are you a brush snob or are you a frugal brush buyer? So before we get into this week's question, if this is your first time here, why don't you consider subscribing? We also have a Discord server, link is below, and if you want to support the channel even more, why don't you consider joining our Patreon? All right, so this week's question is kind of important, and I like to ask this question because I'm in this category. I know a lot of people out there who will only buy like Kolinsky Sable brushes, and those brushes are the only ones they will use because it's the only one that makes their miniatures look good. And I talk to other people, and what they say is, I just go to Walmart or the Dollar Tree and I buy brushes, and they're great. So for me, what I do is I've bought some expensive brushes. I do use the brush soap to keep them around and stuff, but I do have a slew of older brushes or stuff that I bought from Walmart or even the Dollar Tree to use. Usually dry brushes or things where you mix the paint together on your wet palette or just on any palette that you use. That's what I usually do, but I don't like to spend a lot of money on the brushes. I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I will buy some expensive brushes that are good, that hold their tip and they're made well, good construction. I like the brush to have a little bit of weight to it because that's what I feel most comfortable with. But I do buy the cheaper brushes because if I'm doing terrain or I know I'm going to be doing a lot of dry brushing or just beating the hell out of the brush, you know, using it for, like, say, putting the PVA glue around or moving sand around and things like that on the bases, that's where I use the cheaper brushes. So for good details and stuff, I'll use the nicer, more expensive brushes, and for that other stuff where you're going to know you're going to kill the brush, I use the cheaper brushes. So what do? Are you a brush snob or are you a frugal brush buyer? Let me know in the comments below. All right, so that's it for this week's question. If you have a wargaming question that you would like answered, why don't you leave a comment below and we'll get to it in another video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.